But then there is restoration. Welcome back to Trauma Care Tuesday. Today, I want us to think about three words: regret, disappointment, and restoration. Regret is that painful feeling of looking back and wishing something had been different. Disappointment is the sadness that comes when life doesn't unfold the way you hoped it would. Many people who have experienced trauma carry both. They regret some of the choices they made while they were wounded, and they grieve the years they believe trauma stole from them. But then there is restoration. The Bible teaches that restoration is far more than getting back what was lost. It is God's work of healing, renewing, redeeming, and bringing purpose out of what has been broken. Our story does not have to end where our pain began. As I've meditated on that word restoration, I have found myself thinking about the years trauma seemed to take from my life. Years of rejection, years of believing lies about myself, years spent surviving instead of truly living. As a trauma therapist, I've heard this from so many people. They aren't just grieving what happened to them, they're grieving what they believe they lost or what was wasted. But the Lord challenged me with a different question. Maybe we've been asking the wrong ones. Instead of asking, were those years wasted? Perhaps we should be asking, Lord, what were you doing in me during those years? When I was 50 years old, the Lord instructed me to go to college. I was terrified. I thought, Lord, I'm 50 years old. Can I really do this? Am I too old? What if I fail? But I knew God has spoken. I had a decision to make. I could obey Him or I could stay where I was. And I realized something. I was dying internally. The pain of remaining the same had become greater than the fear of moving forward. So by faith, I went. That one act of obedience changed the direction of my life. It led me to become a licensed clinical social worker. It opened doors for me to minister, write books, teach, and help others find healing. If I had believed it was too late, I would have missed everything God had waiting on the other side of my obedience. That's why Joel 2, verse 25 means so much to me. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. Notice God doesn't say He'll erase the past. He says, I will restore. Maybe you're watching today and you're 60 or 70 and you've convinced yourself that trauma has already written the rest of your story. Can I lovingly challenge that belief? Don't let trauma be your identity anymore. Yes, it happened. Yes, it hurt. But it does not have the authority to define who you are or determine what God can still do through your life. As long as God has given you breath, your story is not over. Stop counting the years you think you wasted and start trusting the God who knows how to redeem every one of them. If this message resonated with you, would you do me a favor? Click the like button and leave a comment below that simply says, Restore me, Lord. I'd love to pray for everyone who responds, and your comment may encourage someone else who needs to know that God is still in the business of restoration. God bless you, and I'll see you next Tuesday.